We have the Atlanta Falcons versus Minnesota Vikings instant reaction here. So, look, I watched this game. At least I watched about three-quarters of it before it was out of hand. A couple of takeaways. First of all, Kirk Cousins really kind of lost this game for me. Minnesota had a tough time running the ball, and it's just kind of tough luck for Minnesota to run up against a team that just had a coaching change. In the history, at least in recent history of the NFL, when a team fires their head coach and replaces them with an interim head coach, for some reason they always come out with extra juice. Atlanta's defense played the best game that they played all season. Minnesota closed the gap. I mean, the over, if you bet the over like I did, Minnesota closed the gap late. Cousins, although his numbers were basically dog turd to start the first half, he ends up with 24 completions, 343 yards, 3 touchdowns. But those interceptions early absolutely killed him. Alexander Madison, they were hurting without Dalvin Cook. Alexander Madison, 10 rushes for 26 yards. They had a couple, I think there was a goal line stand or something like that early in the game where, 3 Falcons were in the backfield every time. Minnesota's offensive line was not blocking well for the run. That was tough. What do we know, though? Atlanta obviously was trying to shut down Adam Theilen. I think they did a relatively good job, at least until late. Thielen ends up with only 51 yards on 3 catches and 1 touchdown. But Justin Jefferson, he looks good. I know he can feast on single coverage. And that's what you want because teams are going to try to double up Adam Theilen, and that's just not going to be able to happen for long. So I think Minnesota's back to having really 2 really stud star wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, 11 targets, 9 receptions, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's had a couple of games like this. Can he respond to double coverage? I don't know. We'll learn more about that as the season goes along. But look, if he's being double covered, that just opens up Thielen on the other side of the field. Irv Smith looked pretty good, but they're distributing the ball also to Kyle Rudolph. The deal here, though, is Minnesota, if you're not running the ball, you're just not going to be successful. And unfortunately, now Minnesota, the season's over. Look, you have to finish 8-2. In that division, I don't like it. I don't like the matchups. The Bears are better than people thought. Even the Detroit Lions are better than people thought. Tough opening schedule, tough luck facing the Atlanta Falcons right after they fire a coach. Atlanta on the other side, Matt Ryan, 30 of 40, 371 yards and 4 touchdowns. Why weren't they doing that to begin the season, for crying out loud? You're not a physical team. Throw the ball. Todd Gurley, 20 carries, 47 yards. That's about what I would expect from Todd Gurley going forward. This is a passing team. They are not a ground and pound, let's win on defense team. That's what Dane Quinn was trying to do. It was stupid from the get-go. Atlanta 1-5. I still think the season's done, but they're going to be a tough out for teams if they're throwing the ball because that's what they're built to do. Receiving-wise, Julio Jones, 8 catches, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those was a little bit of a phantom touchdown, that little flick from Matt Ryan where he catches it and then just kind of runs. But that's what Julio gives you, man. He's fast, he's physical, he can run away from people. Calvin Ridley, another 6 catches, 61 yards and a touchdown. You got Hayden Hurst even getting the end zone, 4 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown, only on 4 targets though. Russell Gage, 4 targets, 4 catches, 65 yards. The question for me is what do we do with Hayden Hurst in fantasy going forward? I wanted to see this game. I was hoping that I'd get more like 8 to 10 targets for Hayden Hurst. I want to see Atlanta open up the passing game more. And given the success that they had and the lack of success, the success in the passing game and lack of success that they had in the running game, maybe we'll see that. Todd Gurley did not look great to me. He was better in the first half than he was in the second. Then you get Brian Hill, 10 carries, 28 yards. I mean, between the two of them, you get 2.4 yards per carry, 2.8 yards per carry. Nothing to write home about. But hey, Atlanta gets it done behind Matt Ryan. I think that's the recipe for success for Atlanta. I think that's been the recipe for success for Atlanta all time, the entire season long. You have to wonder if Atlanta can play this physically on defense and Atlanta opens up the passing game. Do they do enough to give the interim head coach, Raheem Morris, do they do enough to get him a head coaching job possibly with Atlanta? I know he's going to get an interview. And Atlanta did a really good job in the second half of last year. Maybe they can respond and rebound, but I don't know. We'll see how things go. It was impressive today. Minnesota kind of crapped the bed, specifically Cousins, in my opinion. And we'll see how things go moving forward. I'm not a buyer on either of these teams this season to make the playoffs, certainly at 1-5 for both teams. I don't think he could be. That would be foolish. But Atlanta is going to be a tough team to beat if they continue to pass as well as they have been. And I think the only thing holding them back from doing that is the coaching and the play calling. So we'll see if that changes. Atlanta, buyer on in terms of betting against the spread. Minnesota, better luck next year, I guess. Minnesota fans, Atlanta fans, please comment below. What did you think? What did you see? Did you see the same things that I saw? Comment below. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you again soon. Thank you.